Hello everyone and welcome. I wasn't going to go live, but there's something. Oh, give me one sec. There's something very important that needs to be talked about. And if you come from the true crime community, you probably more than likely have no clue what I'm talking about. And that's okay. But if you come from the true crime community, you may know what I'm talking about. And that's also, it's not okay, but it's okay that people know. See, there's a very quiet side of YouTube, a very quiet group of people they build their community to make it full of loving and caring people. And they're there when people need a place to go. And yes, this says true crime, and I really should change my banner. Give me a second. But it's a place where people go when they are struggling. Thank you, SRB. Welcome. And she put out an amazing live last night or 2 nights ago. And I've been watching her. You know, she helped get me through a really rough period. And I couldn't say enough positive things about her or the situation that she's been going through. She's made it a point to cover the Palestine train crash and the effects that it's left in Ohio. And she does a way better job of covering it than a lot of people that I've seen. With that being said, though, I stand with her, and I always will. This person has never done anything to me or to anyone that I talk to. She's always made it a point to support people who might not get support otherwise. She connects with her people on a way that most people can't connect with their members on. But sadly, people have started bothering her, and I don't just mean bothering as in putting out personal information about her, which is wrong, and I do not stand by it. I do not stand by the people who put out personal information about others, especially their children, especially children who are no longer here. I will mention who this is about in a second. Criminally focused, welcome. Nice to see you. Haven't seen you before, so hello. It's nice to see new names in here. With that being said, though, I stand with her. You know, it's never a good time when holidays are coming up and you're going through the loss of a child, a family member, even a pet. It's not a good time. Hello, Chris. Welcome. Glad to see you. Nice to have familiar names in here. And this person put out a video, and I do not want to show it to be respectful of them. But they put out a video today, and I saw it earlier, which is what made me go live, about people sending them messages saying that their kid who passed away is mad at them and that they did stuff to their kid and stuff. And honestly, people on YouTube that go after others need to stop. I've said it before in my lives. I don't find it funny. I don't find it helpful. And all it is doing is damaging communities at this point. You're pulling people away from communities because they don't want to deal with it. With that being said, though, there's no amount of doxing that could happen to this in particular person that would push me away from them. They've been a true inspiration in my life. I don't know if my video will even reach them. But what I can say is I'm not going to stand for what is happening to them, nor will I stand for what has happened to me. And, hello, Grandma Cherry. Nice to see you here. That's okay, Grandma Cherry. Take your time. Communally focused. Well, let me put it this way. I know of an event that happened last night on a not true crime channel, YouTube channel. And the person that's being attacked in all of this is somebody who has lost their son. And she speaks openly about her grief. I don't send people there unless I know that they are really struggling. Only because I try and keep it a safe space. As much as my channel's put out in the open, theirs isn't. And I respect that. I'm never going to force a creator to put their channel out. I mentioned her name in my description, but I don't know that I'm going to fully put her channel out here for everybody. As amazing as she is, I want to give her the time and respect that she deserves, that I wish in a way that I had when something similar happened. With that being said, there's been a lot going on true crime-wise the past couple of days. I was looking into 2 cases. I will see if I can get you guys the most recent information on them. Noel Alvarez, they just searched 200 acres for him. There have been no new breaks announced as of a day ago with that case, which is the case where his mother up and left him and took her other children to India, left him to be. He has disabilities. The other case it's not really a case that I was covering, but the other case we've been following is Oakley Snow's case. Police believe that her body is in Indiana somewhere, but they can't confirm it yet. I know her mom had her first court hearing today. I'm not going to be covering her case at the moment, just because we have other cases that do also need to be covered. There are amazing true crime creators, though, at the moment that are covering Oakley Snow's case. Sleuth's mom has been covering it. Lighting the Home for the Vanished, aka PJ, has been covering it. I'm sure Chris probably knows a few that I do not know at the moment that have also been covering Oakley Snow's case. While we are on the topic of Oakley, though, the other thing is, let me see. Let's see here. The most recent update on Oakley Carlson's case, which is a case that CPS desperately failed. The mother of Oakley Carlson is to face trial for identity theft. It says, after 4 hearings in a span of 17 days, Jordan Bowers, a prime suspect and the biological mother of missing 6-year-old Oakley Carlson, will face trial on multiple counts of first and second degree identity theft. She has been held in custody at Grays Arbor County Jail since January. She faces the possibility of being sentenced to a range of 6 to 8 years in prison if she is convicted. The current proceedings are unrelated to the disappearance of Oakley, and that's something I really want to say is it's not fully related. However, I will, if it wants to load, I will show off Oakley's thing. Justice Served Daily is another good creator. Thank you, Chris. I'm a bit all over the place. I wasn't planning on going live today. So we will look at this. So this, hang on, is Oakley Carlson. There's a reward currently out for her information. If you have any information, please call 360-964-1729 or reach out to Crime Stoppers at 800-222-8477 or call 360-533-8765. Let me change our running banner at the moment. Actually, I'll put that one up. It's not fully addiction, but trigger warning, touchy subjects. She is a 6-year-old girl from Oakville, Washington, whose last known credible sighting was on February 10th, 2021. Sadly, however, Oakley was not reported missing until 10 months later on December 6, 2021. Prior to that time, there had been a fire at her house, and a school principal became concerned about her safety. Her biological parents refused to give any information on Oakley's whereabouts and what happened to her. They remain suspects in her disappearance. They were both initially charged with 1 count of second-degree abandonment of a dependent child for failing to give Oakley a prescribed medication, and 2 counts of endangerment with a controlled substance for exposing their, at the time, 6-year-old and 2-year-old son to controlled substances. On March 14th, the father pled guilty to 2 counts of endangerment. The Honorable Judge stated during the sentencing hearing, "It's a father's job to protect their children. You certainly failed in that." He was sentenced to the maximum 12 months in jail, but was released on August 3rd after serving less than 8 months. On April 22nd, Oakley's mom was sentenced to 20 months in prison with a controlled for counts on child endangerment with a controlled substance. She was released from prison on January 15th, but was immediately taken into custody and booked on 3 counts of identity theft. Unrelated to Oakley, she is currently incarcerated. Oakley spent from age 7 months to almost 3 years in foster care with her loving foster parents. They provided a safe and happy home where Oakley thrived. They, along with community members, raised concerns about her care to the Washington State Department of Children, Youth, and Families many times throughout the years and even after Oakley had left their care. They feel as though their concerns were not taken seriously and were simply ignored. They are seeking answers for Oakley. According to police reports and news articles, while in her parents' care, Oakley was starved. And I will not read that, but I will drop the link if you'd like to. As a form of punishment for bad behavior, she was taken from a safe and loving foster home and left in a home with what ultimately ended in a devastating story of a missing child. If the reward that is out for Oakley is not claimed or extended, the funds would then be used at the discretion of Oakley's foster parents, and the reward expires on December 6, 2023. I want to go more into this. Give Give me 1 second. Let's see. Here we go. So as of 1/31/2023, this was updated. So Oakley was sent to live with foster parents in 2017, shortly before she turned 1. She turned 1 12/6/2017, and then in July of 2018, her plan was changed to adoption. Her father was then booked in jail and was ordered to do a DV evaluation and successfully completed the training program. Oakley turned 2 and was in care. On 2019, she came home from a supervised visit with her biological parents. During the 2-hour visit, her diaper was never changed. The foster mom at the time asked the visit supervisor, Brenda, what had happened, and she stated she did not know where the marks came from. In 2019, the foster mother emailed Washington Department of Child and Youth and Families caseworker and sent a recent visit observation log. She ignored the email and the information about the red marks, and the supervisor is unable to describe what had happened. The DV program that Oakley's biological father was written in had failed to attend his group sessions and was discharged from their program. They then completed a detailed report regarding the biological parents that was filed as a sealed confidential report. He was then found guilty in May of 2019, and then in 2019 he returned to court. In 2019, Washington State Department contacted the foster mother and foster father and her husband to make them aware that Oakley was going to be placed back in biological parents' care in January of 2020. They then had a meeting with the Department of Children and Youth and Families about concerns of returning Oakley so quickly. They were then told she isn't your daughter and being poor isn't a reason for someone to not have their children. In October of 2019 was Oakley's first unsupervised visit with her biological parents. She came home from a visit stating there was violence between parents. The foster mother then emailed the social worker and was told that there were no concerns and that Oakley loved her mother and father. In November of 2019, the foster mother emailed the social workers again, as well as the supervisor, and that she's stating her concerns, and then that she let her know, the social worker had let the foster mother know that Oakley would be reunifying with her biological parents by November 29th of 2019. She has her first overnight visit at her biological parents' house on the 9th of November. Carlson, being Oakley's biological father, went back to court, and the charges that he was originally charged with had been dropped. In November of 2019, they asked about Oakley's transition back to her biological parents, and on the 29th, she was returned. On December 6, 2019, Oakley had turned 3. On June 3rd of 2020, the matter was closed and the social worker had signed the paperwork. By July 27th of 2020, there was a custody hearing not related to Oakley, and they were trying to receive further paperwork about the biological parents. By August of 2020, last time Oakley's siblings' medical prescription was filled was in August of 2020, and between 9/20 to 12/2021, Oakley's biological parents stopped giving Oakley's 6-year-old sibling her medication. December of 2020, Oakley had turned 4. On Christmas Day, Oakley spent Christmas with her family at the home of her grandparents. Oakley's grandmother told police Oakley didn't look well. 1/26/2021, the foster mother called DCYF after seeing a photo of Oakley from December of 2020. The chief that she had talked to from Elma said she personally could not do a wellness check on Oakley as Oakville was out of her jurisdiction, but that the foster mother could call WADCYF and a sheriff would go out to Oakley's residence. So the foster mother called WADCYF and was told that since she did not witness any incidents firsthand, he presumed that her information was inaccurate and told her she could get in trouble for making false reports. 1/27/2021, there is a verified sighting of Oakley per Grays Harbor Sheriff's Office. After the foster mother called WADCYF about her concerns about Oakley's safety, there was a WADCYF case opened and the caseworker went to check on Oakley. 2/10 of 2021, there was another credible sighting. Oakley was last seen alive by someone who was associated with the family, according to Grays Harbor Sheriff's Office. 3/24/2021, WADCYF called and asked the foster mother if she had seen Oakley or her sister. Foster mother told them she had not, as she was not involved with the family. WADCYF did not tell her why they were calling. The end of March of 2021, they closed the case without ever seeing Oakley. And then 11/6/2021, so November 6th, there was a call dispatched at 16:54 to report a fire at the family home that took place around 10 a.m. According to Oakley's biological father, he told dispatchers that his daughter, aka Oakley, used a cigarette lighter to light the couch on fire and that he put the couch out himself. He stated a response was not needed, but he wanted to report the fire. He also told others that Oakley had started the fire and that that Oakley had started the fire and that she and her husband had fought the fire for about 4 hours. Investigators first stated that the fire had started from the microwave on the kitchen counter. We now know this information was incorrect. November of 2021, the principal went to Oakley's home to bring the family supplies after the fire. She stayed at the house for about 45 minutes. When Swift asked about Oakley, Swift is the principal, they told the principal that Oakley was in her room. 11/17, a GoFundMe was created. 11/18, the foster mother emailed WADCYF again to let them know about the fire and the suspicious GoFundMe. 11/19, she called WADCYF after not receiving a response. Give me 1 second. 11/24, the assistant principal went back to Oakley's home to drop off more supplies. She told police she stayed there about 5 minutes and saw the other 3 children, but not Oakley. 11/30/2021 is when Oakley's bio parents claimed they last saw her. 12/4/2021, Oakley's 6-year-old sibling goes to the assistant principal's house for a playdate and sleepover. According to court documents, when the assistant principal asked about Oakley, the sibling got upset and stated Oakley is no more. When the assistant principal asked about Oakley again, the sibling said Oakley went to live with her foster parents that she had lived with before. Deputies later then confirmed with the assistant principal that Oakley was no longer in foster care. Let me check the comments real quick. Hello, Kib Kitty. Sorry, Kib. Hello, Ruckus. Welcome. By the 5th, oops, give me a second. By the 5th of December of 2021, the assistant principal asked Oakley's sibling if Oakley lived with them and was told no. The sibling then told, no, we did not. The sibling then told the assistant principal that Oakley was living with her former foster parents. That is when the assistant principal contacted the Grays Harbor County Sheriff's Office and said she was concerned for Oakley's safety and requested a welfare check. By 12/6 of 2021, at about 10 a.m., the officers with Tumwater Police Department initiated a welfare check for Oakley and talked to Oakley's biological parents in their hotel room. By noon, court documents state that based on the examination of the biological father's cell phone, it appears to have been erased and factory reset around noon. This occurred shortly after the biological parents were contacted by the police department in reference to an investigation into their missing child, Oakley. By 3:31, an officer confirmed that biological parents left their hotel with their 2-year-old and then returned to their house. Carlson, which is the father, called Thurston County non-emergency line to report Oakley is missing and that they have not seen her since November 30th, 2021, only after being confronted by law enforcement at the hotel. Let's pause there for a second. And I want to stress something. Hello, Cal. Hello, Kid Kitty. I will reshare in a second, but I want to stress something super important. If your kid goes missing, don't call the non-emergency line. Call the emergency line so they can get somebody out there right away and look into it. I know that Oakley's bio parents are being closely looked into, but if in doubt, your kid does go missing, call the emergency line. Hello, Ruckus. Welcome. I did end up getting some sleep last night, Ruckus, to answer your question, by the way. Let's continue on. By 5:10 p.m., the biological father is booked into Grays Harbor County Jail for allegedly obstructing an officer and on suspicion of manslaughter. By 6:50 p.m., there was an interview done with Oakley's sister at the CAC in Montansville by one of the forensic interviewers. By 9:30, the biological mother is then booked into Grays Harbor County Jail. Then, the foster mother receives a call from WADCYF and Grays Harbor County Sheriff asking if she had seen Oakley and if she could take her little brother and Oakley once she was located for emergency foster placement. This was also Oakley's 5th birthday. By 12/7/2021, the officials continue searching the family property. The Grays Harbor County Sheriff posted on Facebook asking for the public's help locating Oakley. Oakley's sister's temporary foster parents asked Ellie about a medication prescribed to the 6-year-old. and Ellie learns that the biological parents had not been giving the child the medication. WADCYF never calls to say Oakley has not been located. By 12/8 of 2021, Grays Harbor Sheriff's Office detectives, Washington State Patrol troopers, and the FBI were seen searching the area surrounding the family's property, which covers about 300 acres. By 12/9, Grays Harbor County Sheriff's Office announced that the biological parents face charges of abandonment of a dependent person in the second degree after investigators discovered evidence that they had not been providing medication prescribed to their other daughter for 15 months. According to investigators, the medication is necessary for the 6-year-old's health, and going without it puts her at risk of physical impairment. They are no longer being held on the charge that they were being charged on, and the undersheriff stated the ground search of the family home and property was extensive. 12/10 of 2021, WACYF takes hair follicle samples from Oakley's 6-year-old sister and 2-year-old brother to submit for analysis. Hence where the charge comes in, that because they both had substantial amounts in hair follicles. 12/12/2021, a Change.org petition pushing for new laws protecting foster children hit 2,000 online signatures. It calls for a law passed that would create a 5-point system of support to check in on children who are returning to families after exiting the foster care system, and to mandate long-term drug testing for families who are reunified with their children. Just saying, side note, I think that is an amazing idea. I can't wait for that law to be passed. It would honestly help so many kids in the system if simple laws like that had gone through, but it's not that easy to pass. By 12/13/2021, the news channel was told that detectives are still working on the case, but investigators had finished searching the family house and property. By 12/15 of 2021, Oakley's grandparents, whom officers state helped with the investigation, released the following statement. The Carlson family have been and continue to be fully cooperating with the investigation. Our only objective is to find our granddaughter, Oakley. We ask that the media respect our privacy during this very difficult time. By 12/17/2021, the Oakley's law petition ended with nearly 7,000 signatures. By 12/30 of 2021, the biological parents appeared in court for allegedly not providing medication to Oakley's 6-year-old sibling for 15 months, which is necessary for the child's health. They were expected back in court for their arraignment on January 10, 2022. The abandonment charges are unrelated to the investigation into the disappearance of Oakley. Although, during Thursday's hearing, they said they clearly know what happened to the 5-year-old child and they are not saying anything. By 12/30 of 2021, there was a rally held outside the county jail demanding answers about Oakley. 1/10 of 2022, they both pled not guilty to abandonment charges of a dependent child. Trial dates were set for April of 2022. 1 of 2022, they added 2 more counts with controlled substances to both of their cases. There was new evidence submitted that the 2 kids could have been exposed as early as July 1st of 2021. There was another rally held, 129, demanding more answers about Oakley. I want to see how much further we have to go. We have a bit to go. On the 31st of January, they both appeared in court There were hearings scheduled for February 7, 2022 to add both of the cases. By 2 of 2022, the foster mother files a complaint on behalf of Oakley Carlson's case with OFCO, aka Office of Family and Children's Ombuds. Of course, as we look at it, biological parents pleaded not guilty to their 2 additional charges. I agree, Chris. I wish that they would, and they don't, but that's why I'm here. I'm a voice for those cases who don't. Like the Way Missing Persons Advocacy Project starts a weekly email and phone campaign to request an immediate outside agency review of Oakley Carlson's WADCYF case. This campaign continues each Thursday. Parents appeared in court again on 2/20/2022. And then on 2/26, there was another rally held demanding answers about Oakley Carlson, as well as on March 12th of 2022. March 14th, biological parents appear in Great Harbors County Superior Court, and the father has pled guilty. 3/17/2022, the foster mother and Light the Way Missing Persons Advocacy Group attend the WADCYF Oversight Board meeting and submit public comments. By 3/18 of 2022, the director of Ombuds calls the foster mother to introduce himself and states he cannot tell her anything in regard to the complaint she has filed, but she should tell him everything they know. This was the day after the Light the Way Missing Persons Advocacy Project had spoken at the WADCYF Oversight Board meeting for the first time. The mother then appears in Great Harbor County Superior Court, and a judge rules that statements made by the mother to a corrections officer can be used in trial. 3/28/2022, we already read this, but the judge basically stated that it's a father's job to protect their children and that the biological father had failed. 4/4 of 2022, the biological mother appears in Great Harbor County Superior Court and for a fact and conclusions hearing. 4/6, the mother appears again in court for a dependency hearing. Her attorney puts in a motion requesting that the mother has telephonic visits with her children and mentions Oakley's name in the motion. The judge then denied Bauer's request, saying it was not in the best interest of the children, which I fully agree with. If you have those cases, it's probably not in the best of your ability, by no fault of anybody else's. And then the mother pled guilty to the 2 counts. Demonstrators held another rally on 4/9 of 2022, and the mother was sentenced to 20 months in prison. She is transferred out of Grace Harbor County Jail to the Department of Corrections facility in Gig Harbor to begin serving her 20 months. Then there was a governor sent to Ombud initiating a review of WADCYF. 5/27/2022, the director of Ombuds calls the foster mother a second time. He again states he cannot tell her anything in regard to the complaint, but she should tell him everything they know. They said that they would look into things, however, to take things with a grain of salt. 6/24/2022, he calls the foster mother a third time. He again states he cannot tell her anything, but she should tell him everything they know. Foster mother then reviews her timelines of the failures of DCYF and the caseworker and supervisor. They cannot release any information publicly until a fatality review is requested. He then tells the foster mother he hopes for a fatality review. 6/27, the mother is transferred to the Correction Center for Women. 7/7/2022, Light the Way Missing Person Advocacy Group attended another board meeting. 7/16/2022, they hosted Paint the Night Pink, an auction and dinner for Oakley, and raised nearly $50,000 for her reward fund. That is still active. There is still a reward out for Oakley Carlson. 7/21, the Light the Way Missing Person Advocacy Project was sent an email. 7/21/2022, they attended another board meeting. 7/31, there was another rally held outside of the Grays Harbor County Jail. 8/3/2022, the biological father is released. 9/1/2022, there was another board meeting attended. 9/9/2022, there was a letter sent, and it cleared WADCYF of any wrongdoing in the investigation of Oakley Carlson's case. 9/12/2022, the father is a no-show to his 9 a.m. chemical dependency review hearing. 9/15, there was another board meeting attended. And the senator stops the secretary during his presentation to ask questions about the report done. She states, "I still wonder why we are protecting adults and not this child." 9/19, the biological father has not submitted the paperwork requested by the court to show he has completed his treatment. 9/26, his certificate was reviewed and he completed treatment. He's ordered to provide an evaluation and treatment plan. He is old, not in compliance. 10/3/2022, he was found to be in compliance with the order, but the judge had stated compliance will continue to be monitored. 1/2023, Oakley is featured in the alert spot for all 7 zones of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children's Walmart poster campaign. 1/15/2023, the mother was released from Mission Creek, Washington Correctional Center for Women, but the Grays Harbor Sheriff's Office submitted an investigation for identity theft and fraud. When the investigation was completed, she was identified as the primary suspect. 1/18/2023, the Oakley Carlson Act was given its first reading and was then referred to the Human Services, Youth, and Learning Committee. The bill specifically focuses on maintaining the safety of children who have been removed from a parent. It also states the tragic disappearance of 6-year-old Oakley Carlson has captured the attention of people from all corners of Washington State, the United States, and the world. The fact that this vibrant little girl vanished after being removed from loving foster parents and returned to troubled birth parents raises serious questions about the effectiveness of our state's child welfare policies. The legislature intends to improve the operations and oversight of Washington's child welfare system and create positive change from the sadness and sorrow of young Oakley's disappearance. For these reasons, the legislature finds that clear and specific standards for returning young children to birth parents who have lost custody of those children will help reduce the risk of harm befalling those children. While reunification of birth families is a good and necessary goal, it must be realized in a careful and comprehensive manner. Reunification must be realized in a manner that protects the children above all other interests. Let me say it this way. I wish that every state had that law passed, because it would help so many more kids. 1/22/2023, there was another rally held, and then 1/2023, the biological mother's arrangement, she pleaded not guilty to the 3 counts of ID theft and the 1 count of ID and the other one. Her attorney expressed that she should be granted supervision to a 43-year-old Auburn resident. This person, who was present in the courtroom, claimed to have a close relationship with Bowers over the last 5 years. The judge declined the request after the criminal history was looked into and found out he was on DOC supervision. Bowers will not be released without an appropriate plan in place. Bail was also reset due to the fact that her offender score is so high. If found guilty, she is looking at 63 to 84 months in prison. Trial will begin on March 21st. Later in that day, Bowers had a second hearing regarding a restraining order. The father of Bowers' oldest son had been seeking a permanent no-contact order against the woman, against the biological mother. The biological mother was a no-show, and Perez was advised to file a motion of default and submit the proposed parenting plan that he initially presented on final orders for entry. The hearing was continued until February 6th. There is no other information, but that is a very detailed timeline. I am looking for this. They have a form on Oakley. If you believe you have seen Oakley at any time in 2021 through the present, please contact them on this website. All information shared is completely anonymous. You don't need your first name, your last name. All you need is an email and a true fact of where you may or may not have seen Oakley. Or really where you have. I'm posting, maybe, the link to Oakley's website. That is, I believe, the website that the foster parents run. I am going to drop that there and say stop sharing the screen and give people a minute to ask questions. Ask what you want to ask, say what you want to say before I sign off for the night, because I did not plan on going live tonight. But I not only stand what the creator mentioned in the description, but I also stand with Oakley Carlson. I believe that more could be done, but that's a discussion for another day, because we've been going at this for about 50 minutes, and I do need to make dinner. But if you have questions, feel free to ask them real quick. If not, I'm going to say my goodbyes and my thank yous and my message of please subscribe. And if you are subscribed, please hit the like button. It not only keeps me in the very small algorithm I am currently in, it also helps you all get notified of the lives that I do, as they are sometimes spontaneous. And the only way you can get notified is if your notifications have been turned on. Hello, Polygraph. Nice to see you here. I agree with you. Ruckus does rock. I hope you enjoyed this, or you will enjoy this if you are just now catching the end of it, Polly. I'm not sure how long you've been listening. But yeah, if anybody else has questions or wants to say anything, feel free to drop it in the chat. If not, I'm going to sign off for the night, and you can drop your question or your comment in the comment section, or find a way to reach out to me if you're somebody who has access to being in contact with me. I did not share my normal rules because I was not planning on going live, but once again, just a reminder, if you have information on how to get in touch with me, please do not give it out to anybody in the live chats or my comment section without checking with me first. It is just for privacy reasons. But I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight, and feel free to drop a like. Thank you.